Now that Giannis is off the table, not only does it expand the Phoenix Suns' ability to get the best package back because he is the supreme prize on the trade market, it also allows them to operate and work on that trade immediately. Great news for the Phoenix Suns on the Kevin Durant front. He is the top trade target available. According to Jake Fisher, momentum has significantly stalled around Bucks forward Giannis Antetokounmpo hitting the open market. The general belief is that he will stay with the one franchise he has spent his entire NBA career with, and that is, yes, great news for the Phoenix Suns, because now the number one player that can be traded for is in fact Kevin Durant. Pair that Giannis report up with another report from Jake Fisher, who also works with DLLS's Mark Stein on the Stein Line Substack. And Jake Fisher says that Kevin Durant might be getting interest from the Toronto Raptors, but he adds in there only if Giannis doesn't hit the open market. So let's unpack this. It's Erik Ruby, a trending mini pod here for PHNX Suns. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, coming to you from my home studio, surrounded by a lot of fun stuff. So if you're watching on audio, rate 5 stars, but highly encourage you to check out PHNX Sports. The March to 50K continues. No Giannis on the trade market, or at least so it seems, will create a bidding war for Kevin Durant. Now, we did a live show on PHNX Suns earlier this week about a bidding war, a robust market of 4 to 6 teams, according to Shams Charania, that would be in contention to win the favor of Kevin Durant to trade for the multi-time All-Star, for one of the best players of all time. One of the teams we did not mention was the Toronto Raptors. Now, do I think Toronto is a legitimate trade destination for Kevin Durant? I'm not sure. I don't know about the salaries. I don't think that there's an easy fit there. It'd have to be a 3-team trade. That being said, well, plus Kevin Durant would want to play there. But that being said, just adding another team to the mix is perfect for the Suns. The last thing that you needed here for Phoenix was Kevin Durant to go out there and to push his will to one place. Say, I'm only going there. Now, I would say that KD's not exactly the type to do that, but more or less he kind of did it to get to Phoenix. So you just got to hope that that doesn't happen. That always significantly takes away your leverage in any situation, in any trade negotiation, especially for a first-time GM in Brian Gregory. So you can't have that happen. That's the number one important thing not to happen. Another number one important thing not to happen is to only have 1 or 2 teams interested, because you only have 1 or 2 teams interested. Not sure if you can get them in a bidding war with themselves, especially because to some people, KD is considered a depreciating asset, right? Almost 40. He's still hooping. He was still the best player on the Suns last year, but some people look at him as still injury prone, despite having a relatively good season health-wise. Of course, he ended the season on the injury report, but that was just a rolled ankle. Now he's completely fine, back in the gym doing Kevin Durant things. So you don't want to have a very slight trade market, right? You don't want these reports that were coming out there from Houston's side of things that have been debunked about, oh, well, the asking price for Kevin Durant has been lowered. Oh, because he's older, because he's injury prone. I don't really see that. I don't think you're going to be getting the same type of haul that you got in exchange for Kevin Durant when you sent Mikal, Cam, 5 first-round picks, 5 second-round picks, and Jay Crowder in exchange for him. I don't see that, but I certainly see a lot of value there. And now that Giannis is off the table, not only does it expand the Phoenix Suns' ability to get the best package back because he is the supreme prize on the trade market, it also allows them to operate and work on that trade immediately, because Giannis would have been the number one domino. Everybody who would have been in the bidding for Kevin Durant would have also put themselves in the bidding for Giannis. That means that until Giannis got traded, if he stayed on the open market, the Suns wouldn't have been able to complete a trade. And we know they want to complete a trade by the NBA draft, which goes down in just a couple of weeks on the 25th of this month. Giannis not being on the market, reportedly, according to Jake Fisher, unlocks so much for Brian Gregory, unlocks so much for the potential future of a Kevin Durant trade and what the Suns are going to be able to get in return. Now, Toronto, I would put probably towards the lower end of teams that I think are realistic in a Kevin Durant trade, but that being said, you saw what they did with Kawhi, right? You don't think that Kawhi is going to go to the Toronto Raptors, but then here they are, and they did it for a one-year mercenary hire, and you saw how it worked out for them, ironically tied to Kevin Durant's injury in that finals against Golden State. But there's also rumors out there that Kevin Durant would be a one-year rental. And if any team is comfortable with a one-year rental and saw how it worked out, it is the Toronto Raptors. So what do you think? Let me know down below. Is Toronto a legitimate team that you think should be added to the Kevin Durant sweepstakes? And what about Giannis being off the table, reportedly going to most likely stay with the Bucks? Now, if anything changes, of course, we'll let you know right here on PHNX Suns. Live shows 5 days a week, breaking news podcasts like we had earlier this week on the hiring of Jordan Ott, breaking down everything related to the new Phoenix Suns head coach. Plus, we're bringing you draft prospects, free agents, and everything in between, all right here on PHNX Suns and PHNX Sports. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. What do you think about Giannis? What do you think about the Raptors? If you're listening on audio, you can leave a comment as well in the form of a 5-star review. They go a long way in helping to grow the show. Hope you all enjoyed this one from the home studio, and I'll talk to you again soon.
We all silly like the mayor.